welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by the talented analyst tandem of Greg Anthony and Chris Webber. David Aldridge is on our sideline. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, the retirements of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker mean the start of a new era for the Spurs. Guard Patty Mills said, "We've had great teachers, and now there's a transition. It's about teaching that culture to these new guys. We aren't going to change. Bridging the gap is going to take time. That's where leadership comes in." Kevin?
A proud franchise. Thank you, David. And let's check out a breakdown, looking at some stats for Hield.
And their analytics department won't be happy with the dip in his effective field goal percentage this month. He's not taking the smart shots he was earlier in the season. Maybe trying to do a little bit too much.
Now Sacramento's starting five. Hield and Ariza, they're the 2 and the 3. Bagley and Giles, both former Blue Devils, are the 4 and the 5. And it's Farrell in at the 1 spot. And for San Antonio, it's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. White is out there with DeJounte Murray. And it's DeRozan in at the 3.
Hey, Chris, there's a lot to like for this Kings franchise right now. Fans have got to be excited about their future.
Yeah, and credit my man Vlade in the front office for rebuilding. They got lots of great young talent, and they kept their picks. The team should be a big factor in the West in the coming years.
Here's Farrell. Giles kicks to Hield. Top of the key, Bagley. Pass to Giles. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Bagley. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
A confident score. I mean, even when the defense is on Bagley and being aggressive, he gets it done.
Outside, White. The pass to Pirtle. Too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. A lot of speed out there, Chris. Should be a track meet tonight. You played in a number of systems. Did you prefer a faster game or a slower pace?
Oh, I preferred the fastest game. That's why I love the West Coast play. Now, you got some teams changing that, especially when you look at Milwaukee and Toronto. They play like West Coast teams, but, I love the West Coast style of play, and I love playing fast. It's a lot more fun for everyone.
It is.
And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, LaMarcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
He doesn't play around. If the buck is there for him, he's going to get it.
Here's Farrell. He's covered by Murray. That's tipped. Pirtle with the steal. Here's White. And the layup's good off the glass.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And how about then not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
Now here's Hield. He's coming off a 16-point game against Cleveland.
Yeah, as good of a scorer as he was in that game, he was even a better passer. A lot of assists for him.
And that turnaround jumper of Aldridge's. Great, just impossible to defend.
Long arms, that high release point, when it's falling, well, we saw him give OKC 56. This man can take over.
And it's in there.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Now here's Hield. His scoring totals are something to take note of. He's averaging over 19 points a game.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Here's DeRozan.
Oh, wow. And he just glides to the hoop on his drives. DeRozan's got plenty of force to his game. Don't get me wrong, but he makes everything look so effortless.
Farrell can't hit. For San Antonio, they've gone 4-4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Here's White. That shot off. And it's the Kings taking it the other way.
Not a problem when that's your first miss of the game. Strong start.
Here's Farrell, currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Ariza outside. And a missed layup.
Nice work on the glass, but his defense was even better. Really has an impact on that shot.
White dishes to Aldridge. DeRozan against Bagley. DeRozan's shot is off.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
And even though, Chris, he isn't the athletic dynamo he once was, the length of Ariza is always a factor.
Yeah, I mean, for years now, Ariza has been a nuisance for opposing scorers with his reach. And Kevin, you know he's great at contesting shots, and he's good for at least 1 or 2 takeaways a game.
That one is off.
And it's easy to see why a team would want Ariza on their roster. Makes the right decisions, mentors young players, and is well respected throughout the league.
And he sinks the second.
And during Ariza's career, he has established himself as an effective role player and fantastic outside shooter and a tenacious defender.
Here's Murray. Great D that time from Bagley. And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. 4-point game. Traps in the tray.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's DeRozan. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against New Orleans. Over Bagley. Here's Pirtle. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And Pirtle has a stick-with-it mentality on the offensive glass, just throwing himself against the board.
Here's Farrell. Pass to Bagley. Healed outside. And stolen by White. And the Spurs pushing it up now. Murray with the ball.
And that's how to make an impact with defense. Once the steal is made, you know they're going to be scattered.
Farrell passes to Ariza. Here's Giles. Right side Bagley. Back to Giles. Just 5 on the clock. Three-pointer healed. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Spurs leading by 5. Outside, White. Ariza against DeRozan. Over Bagley. They get the rebound. Here's Pirtle. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And the way Pirtle uses his 7-foot frame, so skilled in how he earns calls on his way up with the shot.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Not the best statistic for him in terms of his performance at the line. Very low numbers.
And he can't get the first one. Chris, of the guys you went against and played against, who would have benefited from today's style of play the most?
Oh, man, I got a few names. Billy Owens. Billy Owens, to me, was a guy like a Kevin Durant. No, he couldn't shoot like that, but he did everything on the floor for us there in Golden State. And I think in today, an open game for him where he could get going, oh, man, that would just be incredible. I also think of a guy like Detlef Shrimp. He could post up, he could pop and pick, he could shoot the ball deep, he could shoot off the dribble, finish on the break. Whatever you wanted, he could give it to you that way. And I think for both guys, that size, that sweet spot, 6'7", 6'8", but played like a little bit of a guard, those two guys come to mind.
Damari Carroll's checked in for the Spurs. And the Kings also making a change. Bielitsa, he's checked in for Marvin Bagley. DeRozan against Bogdanovich. DeRozan, that's good.
Oh, I like the bounce pass there. He's getting creative.
The Kings trail by 5. Pass to Holmes. Outside, Bogdanovich. Offline with his 3. Spurs have gone 7 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Carroll passes to Gay, and then Gay with the dunk.
And when Gay is nearby, you have to be aware of his vertical. He really rocks the rims on these jams.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Here's Farrell. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3. So for Sacramento, their last game, a loss to Cleveland.
Painful to watch, guys. You could see their frustrations mounting, unable to get into any kind of a rhythm whatsoever.
Yeah, GA, sometimes you have games like that, but you just got to shrug it off and move on to the next one. He'll breathe a big sigh of relief if they hang on to win this game. He's not done much to contribute tonight, but he doesn't have a clear path to the hoop, so why not? I mean, pull up and bury the 3 in transition.
Now here's DeRozan. Right now, checking his stats, he's averaging over 23 points a game, and he gets the bucket. DeRozan's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
I like that pick play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Here's Farrell, following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Farrell gets to Ariza. Trying to find Holmes. Gets it to him. Wide open. And yes, it's good.
Punch, counter punch. Impressive offensive production early on.
Yeah, and this is what you love to see. Both teams going at it, working to get to their spots and cashing in.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. The 55th pick back in 2009. Those picks don't hit very often, but Greg Patty Mills now with a decade in the NBA.
6'0", and that may be generous. The Australian Mills, a dangerous pull-up shooter, and he does not back down.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. Trey Lyles checked in for San Antonio. Bryn Forbes comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Sacramento also making some changes. Dwayne Dedman comes in for Trevor Ariza. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Farrell. And both free throws good for Mills.
Oh, you can get spoiled watching him at the line. I mean, you just expect him to make every one, every time.
Pass to Bogdanovich. Now, Bielitsa. Last game he had 10 points. 6 to shoot. And good that time.
Hey, listen, you really can't defend that play any better. Just give Bielitsa credit for keeping his composure in a tough spot.
San Antonio leading. Now, here's Mills. 14 points from him the last game against New Orleans.
Yeah, and as good of a scorer as he was in that game, he was even a better passer. A lot of assists for him.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Bielitsa against Lyles. Outside, Joseph. Bogdanovich wide open. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. The Spurs shooting 56% in this first quarter. An outstanding start for this offense. Carroll against Bogdanovich. And the pass to Mills. Back to Lyles. Three-pointer on the way. Rebounded by Holmes. Holmes got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Shoots from 12. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Joseph against Carroll. And Mills kicks to Lyles. Pass to Carroll. And here's Gay. Over Bielitsa, and that one's good by Gay. Gay's got his second basket.
You can't forget about the precise mid-range shooting of Gay. He's as good as they come from there.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Dedmon dishes to Bogdanovich. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Outstanding at taking it to the cup. Now look, when Bogdanovich is in attack mode, it's great to watch.
And here's Gay. 17 points for him last game against New Orleans.
Yeah, and his energy level in that game was amazing. He did all that work offensively and controlled the boards too.
From deep. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Spurs lead by 2. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Yeah, it's a gambling style that pays off, GA, keeping things in disarray for that offense.
And San Antonio has possession, defeated by the Pelicans in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
And guys, there's really a fine line between being aggressive and being out of control. And in that one, they crossed the line.
Yeah, and there's really no excuse for it, GA. I mean, they know they need to play in more control.
On the court right now for the Kings, Corey Joseph is out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's Nemanja Bjelica. Then it's Dwayne Dedmon, and it's Swanigan in at the 4 spot. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Bogdanovich. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
And there's the foul. It's on Dwayne Dedmon. That's his first foul. Knocks it loose and stolen by Dedmon.
Yeah, another turnover there. But, guys, overall, they've taken really good care of the basketball.
That evens the score. Bogdanovich has got 9 points.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. And Kevin, LaMarcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. A different look now for San Antonio. Pirtle, he's checked in for Damari Carroll, and it's White in for Patty Mills. And a change for Sacramento. Heald's checked in. Here's Dedmon. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Passes it to Joseph. Clock at 6. Back to Dedmon. Sacramento needs to get off a shot. Bjelica with the bucket.
Well, at 6'10", Bjelica is a legit threat inside, looking very comfortable and assured right there.
White looking around. Kicks it to Pirtle. To the paint. Here's Lyles on the money with the open jumper.
Oh, man, challenging the defense inside with the pass. That's just good ball movement.
Joseph against White. Outside, Joseph. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for Bryn Forbes. And a change for Sacramento. Bagley's checked in. And that drops, so they now lead by 1. Well, Chris, as we wind toward the end of the regular season, what do you notice as an analyst that you didn't notice when you were playing?
Wow, I think what I didn't notice when I was playing was everything that goes on around the arena. Now I get to the games a couple of hours early. I get to interact with fans. I get to see game productions. The business of basketball, just how much everyone loves the game, from Adam Silver down to someone at the concession stands at the arena, how it really is a community and a family. Because when I was in Sacramento, I'm just playing for Sacramento. I didn't realize how many people in New York and Detroit and other places supported not only us in Sacramento, but their home teams, and just seeing how passionate everyone in the business of basketball, how passionate they are. And that's just something awesome to be a part of.
The Spurs have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Pass to Wiles. Gay up top. Defended by Bagley. Gay can't get it to go. And so it's Joseph with it. He'll bring it up for the Sacramento Kings. Their defense has only allowed 4 points in the quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And when you watch him, Chris, around the rim and in the paint, it almost seems like Marvin Bagley is playing on a pogo stick.
Oh, yeah, it's his ability to jump and then immediately jump again. Reminds me a lot of Sean Marion. Players like that are so hard to keep off the offensive glass, and Bagley is no exception.
Well, some ups and downs for Marvin Bagley in that rookie campaign with the Kings, but you could see the flashes of potential and the tremendous work ethic when he was out on that floor.
Now here is Aldridge. He's got 5. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
And with Bagley, the mobility he showed for his size is really what impresses you.
And that blend of size and speed is why many feel like he could play across the entire front line. Wasn't in the Rookie of the Year race, but in a few years, he could be right there with the best of the best from that 2018 class.
The free throw drops for Aldridge. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. Ariza outside. Banked in off the glass. Ariza's got his second bucket tonight.
It's clear to me. Is it clear to you that Ariza feels at home in the post? I mean, just working his way inside and nailing these quality shots.
Murray, the pass to DeRozan. He kicks it to Aldridge. Murray with it. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Here's Hield. The pass to Swanigan. It's blocked. Hield against Murray. And stolen by Ariza. Back to Hield. Pass to Swanigan. He dishes it to Ariza. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And making his return from the ACL tear, DeJounte Murray, long, athletic, and young, he still has a very bright future.
The first one falls. And Murray winning second team all-defense in 2018. And Greg, at that time, he was only 21.
And that's been his strong suit. If he can hit perimeter shots consistently, he can be a star.
And the Kings making a change here. Giles is checked in. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
They get a hand on it. And Trevor Ariza is going to pick up a foul here. That's his first foul. Here's DeRozan.
You know, it's tough for shooters to get clean looks off with Ariza around. I mean, he hounds shooters, forces them to take incredibly hard looks.
Top of the key, Farrell. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Chris, the NBA has flattened now the draft lottery odds. And now that you've seen it at work, seen it in play, any additional changes you might make?
Well, you know, Kev, I still a wait and see for me. I definitely like the NBA making sure they try to address the problem. You never want a team to think that they can be rewarded for losing. So I like what we've done so far, but, you know, if I'm a GM, if I'm a president, I'm always going to try to find ways to manipulate and find that, you know, those open gray areas. And so I think this is something we're always going to have to address, but I love the fact the NBA has gotten ahead of the problem.
Well, like the Clippers of a year ago, they looked like, gosh, they've lost all their superstars, but they gave it such a great go. They actually made the playoffs.
Yeah, and it started from the top. I mean, Mr.
Right.
Ballmer said, listen, we do not want to lose. We're going to go in and we're going to play hard. And I tell you what, I think that's what rewarded them during free agency by able to go out and recruit players and say, listen, we don't lose here. We just need you to take us over the top. And I think that's a pretty good recruiting pitch.
Spurs trail by 7. Now White. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. That shot is no good, and he's 1 for 3 from the floor. On offense, here are the Kings. They're on a 16-7 run, and plenty of contact on the shot, so 2 free throws coming up. And though Chris, he's known mostly for his shooting, Buddy Hield has been improving in other areas as well.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about ball handling, playmaking. I mean, they're notably better from early in his career. He's a solid rebounder who is definitely not a weak link on the defensive side as well.
Free throw drops for Hield.
And really, for a long time, the specter hanging over Buddy Hield was he's the player who was traded for DeMarcus Cousins. Hard billing to live up to, but he has made some giant leaps with his development.
Both free throws good from Hield. And Hield has slowly but surely turned himself into one of the elite shooters in the NBA.
And guys, to be as locked in as he is from deep with his height and release is deadly. He's the kind of player who gets better as his teammates get better around him, and he is just now finding his stride.
And here are the Kings now after the basket by San Antonio. Ariza against DeRozan. Ariza kicks to Bagley. 5 on the clock and too long on the shot.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Passes it to Aldridge. Rebound by the Kings.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
And how about breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more. You're right. Here's Murray after the Kings pick up 2. Healed outside. Here's Bagley. And finished off by Bagley.
Oh, no doubt that Buddy Hield can shoot with the best of them. But it's encouraging watching him share the wealth as well.
Pass to Aldridge. Cross contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
For San Antonio, they have gone 4 of 6 so far from the line, missing a couple. And the Spurs with some changes. Tamari Carroll's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. Bryn Forbes comes in for White, and it's Mills in for Murray. Sacramento also making some changes. Rashawn Holmes, he's checked in for Bagley. And it's Bogdan Bogdanovic in for Buddy Hield.
One shot.
Kings leading now by 8. Here's Farrell, 7 points in the game. Now the pass to Bogdanovic. Shot clock at 6. Pass to Holmes. The turnaround J. That falls. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovic. Holmes got his second bucket.
Passes like that help develop team chemistry. Bogdanovic, I love the display of unselfishness.
And stolen by Ariza. Farrell for 3. But they'll get another chance. Here's Giles. Carroll covering. Just 5 to shoot. Farrell for 3. Drills the three-pointer. Farrell's got the lead up to 13 now for the Kings.
Oh, he just caught the defense napping. He shoots a very high percentage from three-point range when there's no hand in his face.
Passes it to DeRozan. The shot off that time. Good D by Ariza. Sacramento leading by 13. Pass to Farrell. Dishes it to Bogdanovic. Lets the 3 fly. Another 3 for Sacramento.
They couldn't have asked for much more from him today. He's been a key force in their offense.
Now here's Mills. Defense right on him. They need this, and it's laid in by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 13 points.
And I love how Aldridge uses his size to hold his own against defenders and just routinely scores up over the top.
Now, here's Holmes. Taking a look at the scoring numbers, right now he averages about 9 points a game. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more. For Sacramento, they have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances.
And they've done some really nice work at the foul line, knocking down 80%.
Rudy Gay's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. Then for the Kings, Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Bielitsa comes in for Trevor Ariza. And it's Joseph in for Yogi Ferrell. Free throw good, Giles. And you see flashes of brilliance with Harry Giles. And eventually, Chris, you think he'll put it all together.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I do, Kevin. He missed so much time in both college and his entire rookie year. I mean, a little behind the curve in that regard, but the talent is clear. And there was a reason why he was once the top-rated player in his draft.
Sacramento with the ball. Outside, Joseph. High, arcing shot, and it's Gay with the rebound. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. Trailing by 17. Back to Mills. Gay scanning the floor. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession.
Spurs ball.
Now the dish to Mills. Clock at 4. From deep three-point range, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. There's 10 seconds left in the first half. Now here's Bogdanovich. From deep. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Sacramento out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They've excelled in the open court. Their transition game has allowed them to build this healthy lead. Back to the action after this word.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson. Shaq is here. Kenny's here. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Kings throughout the first quarter. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. What'd you think about Sacramento, Kenny?
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their benches provide. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See you, everybody, with Kevin Harlan.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. We're seeing a tremendous game from LaMarcus Aldridge.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Spurs trail by 17. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the floor for San Antonio, it's Aldridge at the power forward with Pirtle at center. Murray out there with Derek White. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward position. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And San Antonio has possession. Here's Murray. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
72% at the line this season. He has yet to set himself apart in that department.
Trevor Ariza's checked in for the Kings.
One shot.
Chris, we talk about perimeter scoring becoming more prevalent. The biggest shift coming from bigs shooting more threes.
Yeah, they are now counted upon to space the floor. And the better you can shoot, the better you can space the floor. And then more importantly, if you can knock down that three, you become a triple threat because now you can shoot there, maybe you can dribble and get by, or because of your height, you see different passing lanes and you can be a better passer, getting your teammates involved, and they like that spacing as well.
Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Love seeing Pirtle attack the glass, especially when he goes for the putback jam.
Healed outside. Back to Farrell. And he drops it in from the low post. Farrell's got 12 points in the game.
The assist is the key to that sequence. I mean, a great look to set him up.
Outside DeRozan. Looking to end his cold spell and finished off by DeRozan.
And wait to finish and cut into that lead a little bit.
Yeah, but look at the basket, guys, still shaking. Farrell for three. It's hauled in by LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game. And with that shot, the Sacramento lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from White.
Oh, I love it. He's working the ball down low. Always a good plan of attack.
Here's Farrell. He's covered by Murray. Farrell passes to Giles. Five to shoot. Ariza kicks to Farrell. Off target from outside.
It's still early, but a 1-for-4 start to the half, that's a bad sign if you ask me. If they've got a can't-miss play, now's the time to break the glass and pull it out.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
Well, I mean, anyone can tell they've ramped up the intensity. I mean, they're more assertive, and especially at the offensive end.
Here's Hield following the three-pointer by San Antonio. Got it from 16 feet. And the Kings lead by 9.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
He's been cold, and it's been hurting him. The D, I mean, was ready for him. He hasn't been able to solve it.
Farrell passes to Giles. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
The Kings have shot 10 of 11 at the line. Nice work so far for them.
2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
Free throw good, Giles. Trey Lyles checked in for San Antonio. And he can't hit the second. See, Webb, the NBA always trying to improve every aspect of the game, and that includes officiating.
Yeah, and it should include officiating, one of the most important parts of the game and one of the toughest jobs within the business of basketball. I mean, these guys are making calls on the fly without the advantage of the camera at home that we have watching through the screen, or without the advantage of slow motion technology. So first of all, kudos to the refs that go out and give it their best every day. We have the best refs in any of sports, I believe, and we still need to improve on that. The league recognizes that, and I love the fact that everybody's doing it together.
Caleb Swanigan's checked in for the Kings. He hits the second from the line. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. Here's Farrell. He's covered by Murray. Healed outside. The pass to Bagley. Shoots over White. Sacramento again missing. Spurs trail by 9. And here is Murray. He has 7. White with it. Down low. Miles. And he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Ariza goes in. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Ariza's got his third basket of the night. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Pass to Lyles. Passes to Pirtle. Knocked loose. Here's Farrell. 12 points for him. Here's Heald. A rebound by the Spurs. Pirtle's got 6 rebounds in the game. To the wing right side. That shot missing. And the Kings going the other way now. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Minnesota where they'll take on the Timberwolves. That'll be the second on the road in the midst of this long 4-game road stint. And so White will bring it up for San Antonio. 11-point game. Outside DeRozan. Over Heald. Ariza with the rebound.
You just can't find the touch this quarter. He's got to keep grinding, though, and looking for the best shot possible.
Sacramento moving it around. Here's Bagley. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
And we get a chance to check out the numbers for White. He's getting around 8 points a game, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all they need, especially in tight games. 1 or 2 plays can make all the difference.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Rudy Gay's checked in for Jakob Poeltl. Damari Carroll comes in for DeMar DeRozan. Bryn Forbes, he's checked in for White. And it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. And the Kings will go for a different look here. Richaun Holmes, he's checked in for Swanigan. Bielitsa comes in for Trevor Ariza. Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Heald. And it's Joseph in for Farrell.
And the wily athleticism of Gay helps him in these situations. Just so clever at finding ways to bury shots against defenders.
Joseph, the pass to Bielitsa. Now Holmes. Back to Bielitsa. Over Mills. Sacramento again missing. Spurs trail by 9. Now here's Carroll. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. A floater. The shot will not fall. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. And here's Bogdanovich for 3. San Antonio with the rebound. Gay's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Mills. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
And despite the size disadvantage, attacking the heart of that defense.
Yeah, very aggressive. I mean, he takes on the challenge with no hesitation.
Now, here's Joseph. Teardrop shot. It's hauled in by Lyle.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
Forbes can't get it to go.
Oh, nah. Sloppy finish. The D was giving him the layup. He just didn't stay with it.
Holmes finds Bogdanovich. That three off the mark. Here's San Antonio now. They're on a 17-7 run. Now here's Mills. He's covered by Joseph. Bagley against Gay. Bagley with the rebound. Bagley's got his 6th rebound on the night. It's stolen. Gay with no one around. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Gay's got 4 this quarter.
Oh, and if you were the defense, you have to be right in the jersey of Gay. A knockdown threat on the catch and shoot.
And the guard, Bryn Forbes, won back-to-back state championships as a high schooler in the state of Michigan. A couple years at Cleveland State, then transferred back to the state of Michigan and played at Michigan State.
And after that time at Michigan State, he went undrafted, but Kevin really has developed into a steady rotation player in the NBA. And by the way, quite a knockdown shooter.
Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Bagley. Back to Holmes. Clock at 6. It's Bielitsa. The rebound by the Spurs.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might tell the story in this game.
Here is Forbes. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Here's Lyles, and it's San Antonio with another.
And a sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Sacramento leading by 3. Joseph, the pass to Dedmon. 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's Bogdanovich. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. To the inside. At basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
We've got 22 seconds left in the third. Pass to Dedmon. Got a piece of it, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. And the Kings making a change here. Shot clock at 5. It's Bielitsa. Rebounded by the Spurs. Gay's got 6 rebounds in the game. From deep three-point range, and that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. It's Sacramento leading by a point. And we'll be back with you right after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And he's always been the favorite to bag this honor. These kind of feeds are his bread and butter.
Control the pace. Get it to the right guy at the right time. These requirements top the list if you're a good point guard.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. And a look at the 5 for the Kings to start the fourth. We've got Rashawn Holmes, Bogdanovich out there with Farrell. Then it's Nemanja Bjelica, and it's Dedmon in at the 5 down low.
Working as hard as anybody for that rebound. That's not an easy one to correct.
And finished off by DeRozan.
The selflessness of Gay, someone who is always looking to dish the rock to these guys.
The Kings trailing. Farrell passes to Dedmon. And there's the pass to Bjelica. Chris, when Bjelica is on the floor, he certainly gives this offense a different look.
Yeah, Bjelica does a fantastic job spreading the floor and opening the lanes for the rest of the team. He doesn't have to play 30 minutes to make his impact felt out there on the floor. Just key stretches to free things up.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good.
When you think of Bjelica, his shooting comes to mind. He's a solid player who knows his role on this team.
The Spurs making a switch here. White's checked in. Harry Giles is checked in for Sacramento. And so he makes both from the line. And so it's Mills who will bring it up for San Antonio. The 11-footer, no good. So the Kings will take it the other way. Bogdanovich against White. Puts it up from 7. And Bogdanovich with a finish inside. And the Kings lead by 3.
A terrific, versatile scorer. I mean, once Bogdanovich gets hot, he stays assertive and on the attack.
From 13, shots good by Mills.
Nice play call there. Down the stretch, getting him the open look.
Yeah, and when the game is tight, you can see why they go to him. And by the way, where was the defense on that play?
Here's Farrell. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Two shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for Patty Mills. Sacramento also making some changes. Trevor Ariza's checked in for Bjelica. And it's Buddy Hield in for Bogdanovich. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Now here's Murray. He's tightly guarded. DeRozan passes to Gay. Second chance shot, and it's good on the way in.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Hield against White. Hield can't hit.
He hasn't chipped in with many points tonight. Good thing he has the guys around him to carry the weight.
And that's a foul called on Yogi Ferrell. That's his first foul. And DeRozan kicks to Gay. From deep. And no good that time. The Kings leading. Hield with it. Now guarded by Murray. And that one, good. And that's 11 points for Trevor Ariza.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
Rob. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%, 5 for 7. Spurs have gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the 4th quarter. Poke loose. Aldridge dishes to Murray. Feeds it to DeRozan. Good D by Ariza.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points. A really tough night for him offensively. I mean, I wonder what the score would be if he wasn't so cold from the field.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. And he's on his way to the free throw line.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Coach trusts him to make winning plays down the stretch. I mean, because he's shown that ability time and time and time again.
The Spurs making a switch here. Birtle's checked in. The Kings also at the sub. Bagley, he's checked in for Dwayne Dedmon. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Here's Farrell inside. Giants. Boom, he jams it straight down.
Such incredible hops for a center. Look, it allows him to hold his own against any other 5 in the league.
Murray outside. Back to DeRozan. Pirtle trying to get open. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from DeRozan. For Sacramento, they've gone 4 of 8 in this 4th quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Here's Giles. Here's Bagley. No good that time. Some solid defense from Gay. Here's White. And he hits it to tie the game up.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
And here's Farrell. He'll bring it up for the Kings. Healed outside. Buries it from 3-point range. And the Kings lead by 3.
I love seeing Hill shoot the 3 ball. He's a high percentage scorer from there, firing with ease.
Murray left side. Kicks it to Pirtle. Pass to DeRozan. Outside, White. 6 on the shot clock. Trying to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Kings leading now by 3. Here's Ariza. Passes it to Farrell. Outside, Bagley. Pass to Farrell. Rebound by Murray. Murray's got his 5th rebound in this one. To the middle. Here's Gay. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And when Gay gets the hot hand, just keep feeding him. He can really stroke it from any area of the court.
Here's Farrell. Inside. Bagley with the bucket.
That's a perfect setup. Solid screen. Defender can't avoid it. Opens up a clear path to the bucket.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
And he could tell his guys starting to wear down a little bit. Call time to just let them get their legs back under them.
I'm gone. Come back and claim my throne. You mad? You broke? I'm on. We toast. West Coast. We brag. We boast. Then travel across the globe. Turn that loud as it goes. Been counting pounds and euros. I can't be playing with these. They bad. I know. Go ahead, get you some. Yeah. Man, just watch when I get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Yeah. Get you some. Just can't wait till I get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Yeah. Man, just watch when I get me some. Go ahead, get you some. Yeah. Get you some. Just can't wait till I get me some.
Can't match my tribe. I don't know how he stay fly. My God, my vibe, more of a shrimp and a lobster guy. I may go check my mobster ties. No jive, both sides. No lies, stuff working oversized. This point.
And with his game closing in on the final buzzer, let's take a look at our Jordan Player of the Game.
And the way he's made his mark with his work inside, he's just been a slasher tonight. Always moving, getting to the basket at will, and just seemingly taking advantage of a D that was reluctant to get in his way.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He told them this is gut check time. This is when it gets real and when it gets fun. We're here to play in these big moments. Let's make this one count. Kevin, by my count, that's 5 cliches.
And so it's San Antonio with it. The Kings getting the bucket. Murray right side. Tipped away. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Murray. Kings leading now by 5. Here's Farrell. Healed outside. And it's White with the rebound.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising. It's such a tight game.
There's the pass to DeRozan. Ariza with the rebound.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Here's Farrell following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Farrell looking around over Murray. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. Spurs trail by 3. Gay finds Murray. Back to Gay. The rebound by Giles. Giles has got rebound number 8 now on the night. Pass to Ariza. Passes it to Farrell. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Giles. He feeds it to Bagley. Shoots over Pirtle. Bagley, no good. And here's Gay. He'll bring it up for San Antonio. Murray left side. Gay can't get it to go. Sacramento leading by 3. 1:46 left in the fourth quarter. And here is Hield. Down low. Here's Bagley. Yep, it counts.
This is why the coaching staff has Bagley out here in these moments. I mean, because they know he can deliver.
LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for the Spurs.
What's up?
Now they're going for the jugular. A few more trips like that, and we might be able to see this one in the books.
Spurs trail by 6. Murray, the pass to Aldridge. Second shot opportunity. Doesn't go that time. Great D that time from Bagley. Hield with it. There's the feed to Bagley. And White with the block.
And not sure they've got enough time to save themselves.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you, GA, but I've seen crazy things happen.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now here's Hield. Back to Giles. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by DeRozan.
Can't waste any time here.
And you're right. They desperately need a bucket, and every second matters.
Good! And now they trail by just 4.
And how about the agility of Pirtle, just sprinting down the open floor with incredible speed?
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
Everybody knows he's a talented guard. He's a deadly scorer. He can get hot in a hurry.
So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, those free throws helping them to make the lead even safer.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 6. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. There's 25 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. "24 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now they decide to foul intentionally.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 7-point lead. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's an 8-point game. San Antonio calls timeout. They're down by 8. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
And I don't think they'll be able to climb out of this hole.
I'm really curious to see what their strategy is at this point. You can't afford any wasted possessions. Here is Forbes. He's covered by Joseph. And Forbes kicks to Bellinelli.
Here's Medu. It's good. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. And now we've got the intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul. Shooting for Sacramento, Dwayne Dedman. At the line for
shooting 2.
So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game. Murray, the pass to Aldridge. There's the 3. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jakob Poeltl. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Here's Joseph. So the Kings win it. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
And that's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.